folks. It's NOUNS versus Reject. Japan versus Europe. This is going to be such an exciting matchup. Let's see what's going to be on the table for both of these squads.
This is awesome. By the way, if you are not in person at these events, trust me, you have to make it to one of them. We have signs for both Reject and NOUNS Esports in the crowd. We have fans that have traveled all the way. Unbelievable stuff, but Reject can start things pretty hot. Leafeon in that early invade is going to take the red buff despite Adesu trying to protect it. Oh, sorry. Flip-flop. Adesu does not grab the red.
Yeah, unfortunately it wasn't quick enough. So the Leafeon's not only going to be able to get a free central area, but also a quick knockout on the Chansey. So a further boost in experience. A little unfortunate, unfortunately, but you know, there is still an option for the that comeback happen. Bottom lane though, we're going to be seeing some action happening for Rejects, but up top though, more emphasis coming in from NOUNS. You can see these teams now deciding where they're trying to prioritize their defense.
Definitely, yeah, you can see that clearly by the Leafeon kind of roaming towards the top and now dipping back towards bottom. Wherever that Leafeon goes, you know that it's going to be a devastating flank from either side. One of the best early game Pokemon in the entire game. Kiwi is going to lock in that overheat. That's going to damage the Razor Leaf engage from Satake. Is going to try to chase the KO, and it'll be Umbreon to fall first.
Umbreon to fall, and there's not really much you're going to be able to do here, unfortunately, because you're just second evolution for that Inteleon. You can only watch as your goal zone is going to be scored upon. But up top, though, the team is also reeling here for now. They can get a couple of scores in. They're not doing too badly as well. The lanes are looking pretty even, but absolutely can see that priority. Chandelure is the priority here for Rejects. They want to get those levels in. They want that full evolution because so much damage. A fed Chandelure is a nightmare.
It's unbelievable. We already talked about how it's a really interesting matchup in the play skin in particular. So if you can actually outpace that, it's going to be huge. Kartos starting out another great fight. That'll be Gatlu falling, and 4 members of Reject are going to land on the enemy tier 1 goal zone. A nice response from NOUNS Esports in the bottom path. That's a trade that I think Reject is extremely happy with.
I don't know if they're losing their Lampet there, unfortunately. That is their main source of damage, but it was a big jump coming out from NOUNS. But now we do have some reinforcements coming in. They're looking to commit, though. They're deciding that they're going to have to try and go for the KO, but double knockout here for Rejects. NOUNS just couldn't latch on to get that knockout. Ooh, snipes.
Yeah, I mean, with a 1 auto attack, track down that Leafeon with an extremely low HP. Yako and Tamarin doing their best job trying to block the snipe shots, but the auto attack will always follow that intended target. Altaria Swablu's going down pretty quickly. Great defensive snarl from Bro to dissuade any kind of push from the side of Reject.
And it looks like these teams now getting ready for that first bottom objective, and they're going to have to try and go for the Proxy with the Shandy. Got to be careful with the snipes, but look at this, though. Chandelure has been caught thanks to the Umbreon. Does get out there, but Huey has been zoned out completely. Now the Regi is being started by NOUNS. They're in a really good spot to take this. They've got a Blaziken, for goodness sake. They guarantee it with the Inteleon. So NOUNS securing the first objective in that bottom lane and a support on top of that. They might even get a Chandelure if Rejects stick around.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, taking down Pee-wee here would be awesome. Prevent that really unite move. Unbelievable amount of damage thanks to that foul play. But Pee-wee will make it back to that goal zone, and those scores will go in. To break this goal zone, 40 points in, 2 points remain. That is going to be a 38-point overdunk in the bottom half.
Now, while that's all happening in the bottom lane, we did see a pretty heavy push from Rejects in the top lane, so they just decided we're going to try and fight with what we had in the bottom lane, but we will let Gyarados do the work in the top lane. The top tier 1 goal zone has been pushed on the side of NOUNS, so a 1-to-1 trade at this point in time. We're not seeing any major leads, but we are seeing a massive team fight here. It's a Clefable gets taken out by the Umbreon, but at the cost of a Blaziken, they caught the Umbreon here as well. Rejects looking to get the KO, but they just can't find those connections, so just a 1-to-1 trade.
Yeah.
Things are looking a little spicy here, but the fact that no one is securing that dominant lead keeps the doors open for both squads.
It really is. I feel like all the pre-show talk we talked about these two teams in particular is kind of already happened. That really being focused from Reject, very evident, focusing on the scoring patterns with the Reggie and Lecky. But Left also looking fantastic for NOUNS Esports. They got a few targets in double digits, particularly the Metagross out-leveling the Gyarados for a lot of this match. So that focus on those late game team fights huge. And yeah, we're trading snipe shots. We're trading snipe shots for overheats every single time. The damage numbers are going to be ridiculous after this match.
Yes, I mean the fact that they have Clefable, this is probably the best support to have if you're constantly taking all this snipe damage, right? The Moonlight heals very valuable, but look, Rejects, I think we haven't seen Inteleon for a hot minute in Asia, period. This Pokemon is completely fallen off, and I do wonder if
There's a reason we call Toon James Pond for a long time, right? Toon understands this Pokemon to a level that I think very few players in the entire globe can. All right, hey, Serena gonna have the answer there. Leafeon will get knocked out, but of course the place is gonna be traded yet again. And now this Gyarados is gonna push from the top side. The rest of the group at the bottom side, Telekinesis is gonna grab Toon. They get picked up. That Gold Zone will not be defended, but the Fell Stinger will get them out of harm's way.
They did use the Dragon Currents as well. They did not move the full commitment onto the Inteleon, which I think was the safer play. If they went too deep, I think the team would have dove. So for Rejects, the fact that they showed so much self-restraint there, really preventing them giving away that experience and potentially allowing Naz to really procure that lead. But again, this game is still so close. Yes, the points, there might be almost a 100-point difference, but all it takes is one true score to equalize this.
Oh, 100%. It's such a give and take fight, right? If you push extra and get a couple of KOs, maybe you're able to force out the Unite move from Clefable. Yaku's able to spend that, and you have a better team fight around the next objective. But you also are letting the levels kind of landslide the other direction. It's definitely a big choice to make. Arata on the run now as Brub and Gatlu are on the chase.
Oh, they're using the Unite as well from the Umbreon, catching the support yet again, but look at the Leafeon going into the back. The team's joining in as well. Leafeon barely getting out of there. Too quick, unfortunately, for now, so they will unfortunately lose the Umbreon in the process. 3 Pokemon trying to make their getaway, and thankfully Rejects don't continue to pursue, but unfortunate there for now, as they were hoping to just get a little bit more there.
Reject remembered how to play against Inteleon, I think. They found the Inteleon. That is target priority number 1. You talked a lot about that before our match began. What targets do we shut down? Clearly, Toon has been the call-out by Reject to focus on. This Registeel will go to down 4-3. 40 seconds left before the Rayquaza, though Gatlu does have vision set in the center of the map. They're going to recall. They might have a chance to fight over Regieleki as well. Reject camping out extremely early around this Rayquaza.
Yeah, they also spotted out the Blaziken, but they don't know where the rest of the team is. But the fact that they are so far forward, they want to jump onto somebody right before the Rayquaza. But can they find anybody? Love the positioning from now. They're so defensive playing on their side of the map. They do have a Desu providing vision for the team. If they can catch a glimpse, they know where not to be.
This is huge, but however, this is going to kind of enable Toon a little bit here. Inteleon doesn't actually want to push too far in these team fights. They want to apply a little bit of poke damage, and that's a great start. Yaku's going to have to already use that movement. Now they know it's off cooldown. This is a great time to push. Gatlu does put up the wall, so they immediately drop them. Tamarin gets a little bit of damage on the Brub, who's trying to force out the target, but Reject is able to completely eject out of that fight.
Oh my gosh, did you see the play coming out from the Clefable? They tried to go for the jump on the Clefable, but the Follow Me at the last moment prevented the Metagross Unite from connecting. So now it's going to be a bit of a stalemate around this Rayquaza. Who wants to force the fight, or who finds the opportunity here?
Arata looking for a target to try to bounce on top of. They already lost what, half their HP. Leafeon is going to take down that Metagross. It's a full combo. Gatlu already gone. Brub going to try to make some space. Desu loses what, half their HP as well. Brub going to go down. And now Team Sports on the outside looking in. Big push. Inteleon able to knock out the Slowbro, but Reject with a great bounce out of that fight again. Toonslip trying to carry this match. And an unbelievable snipe shot from below the Rayquaza. That's a KO streak of 3. And this is now Team Sports' best chance in this match.
And that might just be it. It's just the Clefable, the Slowbro, just coming back into the game right now. But now they win the team fight. They secure the Ray. And they should be able to dump these points for free. Rejects can only watch on and think, what do we do for game number 2? It looked like it was going to go in favor of Rejects, but the fact that you had the trump card, the Bliss Assist Inteleon, those boosted basic attacks, so much damage.
They're doing almost 3,000 damage each auto attack. I mean, the A button becomes an unreal tool in those final team fights. Now Esports now with the victory lap as they are scoring points upon points. 20 seconds remain, but I think everybody's got one thing in their mind, and that's James Pond. Toon on this Inteleon. Unbelievable showing from them. What a start to the series. Now Esports still hot after that last set.
Still hot, and they also are prepared for Rejects. Like, you could tell in that matchup, they didn't let Rejects run them down during the ladies stage. They were also prepared and ready to say, we need to make sure Gatlu is up, right? There's a lot of emphasis with Gatlu, so you should have an easier game. But what if it's a different line of thinking? And Rejects are saying in last game, Serena wasn't an issue for us. We kind of don't need this Clefable anymore. Do you think maybe this is something that they could consider?
I I would tell them to reconsider immediately.
Okay.
Again, I have casted so many Nouns esports games, I am very confident in what that player is capable of. A Desu on this invade 2 games in a row. This time they will be sporting the red buff, and now their job is to burn that clock. You're not going to make it back to your side of the map, but you have slowed down this Leafeon a little bit. Most importantly, it'll allow Sureyu to clear out that central area undisturbed and join that top side at the same time that Leafeon will be roaming top.
Yeah. Now, with the comp phase support as well, they're probably thinking about providing that assistance for the Gyarados. That is going to be the line of thought for them. Umbreon, though, causing a lot of issues for Chewy, just causing him a lot of grief up here, though. Sureyu not too happy with that Leafeon, but thankfully the eject button is there to get him out.
Really clever play from Bravo on that Umbreon earlier as well. Tries to get in front of the Pokemon just to tank some damage so that they can steal the berries, but not having a chance to take any of those citrus berries. And on the top side, Nouns esports going to win that fight around the Swablu Alterios extremely well. Tatake, despite having the Komei pocket, is going to actually think against pushing in there.
Oh, but they're thinking they went for Tune instead, and actually massive opening here for that Leafeon. They will get this Inteleon this time, so you can tell instant change of tune here for Rejects. They are really wanting to prioritize the jump onto that Inteleon.
That makes sense. Yeah, I love that. We're not going to take that fight early topside, immediately swing down. Tatake with a great rotation. And yeah, Drizzile not really going to have the defensive abilities to outlast a dive with that Razor. Even a Jet Button Fellstinger not getting too out of that scenario. Kiwi poised forward its 8-minute spawn of the birds in the middle of the map, but they're not going to be alone for long. Nouns esports rotating towards.
Cameron actually trying to go for the backward surf there. Did not really connect them to anyone, not even the Blissey. They are going to keep on going though. So far, things not looking too good here for that Combusken. Now wanting to go back. Umbreon will join the fray, but now they're not feeling too comfortable. They are going to try and continue with true basic attacks onto that slow bro. Should be enough, finishing them off with the Umbreon. Blaziken's here, ready to play. And for Rejects down bottom, going to just have to give this away.
Yeah. I mean, great aggressive playstyle for Nouns esports. Rob making a great call out. The eject button out of Kiwi's Lampen extremely early. So Rob sees that cooldown happen and immediately runs after them with foul play, giving them no escape, and even worse, is actually able to take out that slow rope. So Nouns esports really looking great in this early game. But Rejects starting to hit some of those level breakpoints that we know will make them super impactful. Tatake takes that slam shot and does not recover well. That's going to fade down. Do a slam. They're shooting straight.
That's a big mistake. Massive mistake, because you've now given a massive level lead to Nouns, who's sitting on multiple level 8 Pokemon, and for Rejects, they're not sitting at that optimal level. They have gone for a very early comp, especially with all this emphasis on this Leafeon having to be their temper controller. You need to be level 9, but the fact that now Leafeon is at level 8, this is going to prevent that Leafeon from being that major threat that it needs to be.
Okay, well, Pee-wee is going to be able to take out that Reggie Alecki in the face of Gatlu. However, Gatlu making it look great in that team fight. Look at this. Now esports all the way on the other side of the map. Toonslim will go down. There's an Emerald 2-step, a Desu on, and a quick step to make it out of there. But they are going to take a ton of damage, and Leafeon will take them out. Taking out a support at a lower level, not going to give you a ton of experience. They're okay about that, but they're going to have to fast rotate to the bottom side of the map. They have a Reggie Alecki walking into them on the top side, and they are having the other team score on their bottom goal zone. That's a lot of pressure for Reject all over.
The snipe actually connected there. Oh, Leafeon almost again. Oh my gosh, I'm flinching from these snipe
time. Yeah, people don't know. Here on production, we actually have a 3D TV where the slam shots come at us, and we're literally dodging them every single time.
Oh my goodness, Blaziken almost getting caught out there. Chandelure, that burn damage can be quite lethal if you're not expecting it. So I'm hoping to just tick out to that. And it looks like Gyarados Dragon Current being committed as well, wanting to catch out the Blaziken. The eject gets used, but does not connect. And a Bliss assist helping to boost Saray, but he is dropping low. Maybe there's too many Pokemon here. Umbreon as well, using the Unite. They do manage to keep him up, but oh my gosh, it's just not enough. Here comes Toonslim though. Maybe the basic attacks are going to be enough. They get the Slowbro and the Comfey. Now stabilizing.
Slowbro with a Comfey pocket is one of the hardest Pokemon to knock out in the entire game. So
it doesn't knock out.
I know, it literally does not. So credit for Nouns to find the impossible key to success there. Great job in that fight, but wow, unbelievable stuff. And very interesting update here. Isan Ayumento wins 2-0 over Luminosity Gaming, meaning that LG is now eliminated from the tournament.
No way! Oh my gosh, what? I wish we could have seen that match.
I know. But all right, we got an exciting one in front of us, absolutely. Reggie Rock now going to be that main target. Rolf makes a little bit of space with the foul play. You got to watch over the Gyarados, who's diving in. A check button a little too early, so that will be the Chandelure. Securing the Reggie Rock. Sorayu goes down first, but that slam shot makes it so difficult to push into NOUN eSports right now.
True, actually using the Ignite as well. He's trying to commit to defend that goal zone. 5 points to break, and it will be going down. Turn, unfortunately, will be falling as well. And the rest of his team caught in the frame. Mimikyu even committing the Ignite. 3 Pokemon down on the side of Nans. Reject still looking pretty healthy. Leafeon does go down, but at the cost of 4 Pokemon for Nouns. Oh boy, this game is starting to equalize, and you really don't want that, especially when we have 2 minutes to go before that Rayquaza.
Yeah, this is when you want to really hold on to your lead, but Reject are finding a way to come back in this match. It's pretty huge for them. We even saw Sorayu. We've seen Blaziken as a Pokemon take over fights and make huge comebacks happen. However, that Imprison is such a clear, natural predator to Blaziken out in these matches. We see the Imprison lock down the Blaziken, a Pokemon that basically only wants to be using its moves and completely denies access to it. So great Chandelure spot by Pee-wee, really slowing down Sorayu.
With a minute and a half to go, both teams just have to try and get as much experience as they possibly can. You want to hit your level peaks as quickly as possible. And so far, both sides, both cores, all 3 cores on both teams, level 12, level 13, level 14, that's going to be the goal. If they can get any knockouts here, it will be some valuable experience. And I'm kind of looking at the Leafeon here. Are you really thinking of making a play happen? So risky.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's worth it, maybe it's not, but it's definitely a Pokemon you always have to be cautious of. Leafeon's burst damage is truly second to none in our metagame right now. Satake has been playing a pretty fantastic Leafeon game after game. Grub is going to be chased down, and Leafeon almost getting that KO. Uproader exceptionally tanky Pokemon, able to survive that onslaught, but here we're seeing Reject again, this very, very early pressure around the Rayquaza pit. They want that aggressive positioning. If they set up a dive, they want it to be in the enemy central area if possible.
But if they're giving away Regis Steel for this, I don't think teams realize how impactful this is going to be, especially for an Inteleon. Hey, attack boost on this Pokemon, are you sure?
Yeah, I mean, they're giving away a lot. Tamarind is going to call out that it's a Comfey pocket onto them. They take so much damage early. That's a Mimikyu passive. Slime Shot that takes them down. That's 2 members of Reject already knocked out, and we're 10 seconds away from the Rayquaza. Make that 3 Gyarados with a 20-second plus respawn timer.
They gave away the Reggie Steel buff, the best buff to have coming into Rayquaza. And you've got a lot of options. Look at the basic attacks onto this Rayquaza. They're just going to basic attack it down. 2 securing the Ray, and Rejects melting one after the other. It's a full wipe.
They make the call to take that rip, but NOUN eSports exceptional. They know that is the correct play. Reject is not really having the answer. No one to contend with Toon Slim Secure and Gatlin with great protective pressure around Satake. They were on top of that Leafeon on the top side, so much so that we even saw the Play With Me Unite move to shut down the Leafeon, the only secure contender to the Inteleon in those final moments. NOUN eSports played that fight picture perfect.
I mean, Now's look clean shaven in this game. Perfect positioning. They didn't let the Slowbro come in for the multi-man connect. They got 2 free Pokemon in the surf, but it wasn't their key Pokemon. And they were confident to fight into this because, let's be real, a Reggie Rock or a Reggie Steel buff, that's when you want to fight because you have those stat bonuses. And for Rejects, I guess for them, they were hoping they had the element of surprise, being able to preemptively position. They're going to try and go for the last hurrah, but with how large this point gap is, I just don't see that comeback happening for Rejects. Now, this is a team we're going to have to look out for because they have won both of their matchups now.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting group now because of these results. But hey, we got to give some credit to Reject for never giving up as they are trying to put these points into this final goal zone. With 30 seconds remaining, that we now see eSports holding on to this lead after a pretty amazing team fight around that final moment. I mean, team fight with the advantage, you called it out perfect. That's a huge boon to have with that red steel buff. They employ it extremely well. 590 to 875. Reject making this one look good in the final stat line. But now eSports are going to be 2-0 in the group stage to start the day.
2-0 in the group stage. I think at this point they guarantee their place in playoffs tomorrow.
I believe so. so. And reminder, first seed is very, very important going into day 2 as well. So now esports is going to be very happy with their performance. In fact, going from a 2-1 set to a 2-0 set, I think it's fair to say that now esports picking up some momentum.